Hey everyone, and welcome back to the English Playbook. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. Thanks so much for tuning in today.
We are so excited to have you with us. Today, we're diving into a workplace scenario that makes almost everyone a little nervous.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about asking for a raise.
That's right. Whether you're working in an English-speaking country or just want to improve your business English, this episode is packed with useful phrases and vocabulary that you can actually use in real conversations.
And we're going to break down a dialogue between an employee and their boss, so you'll hear exactly how to approach this sometimes awkward conversation.
Before we jump in, let's start with our vocabulary preview, where we'll explain some key terms you'll hear today.
All right, so let's talk about the main word for today, raise. David, what exactly is a raise?
Great question, Sarah. A raise is an increase in your salary. So if you're already working at a company and you go to your boss and say, I want a raise, you're basically saying, I want more money.
Exactly. It's not about getting a new job or a bonus. It's about increasing the amount you earn every month or every year at your current position.
Right. So you might say, I've been working here for 3 years, and I think it's time for a raise. That means you believe you deserve to be paid more based on your experience and hard work.
Perfect. And that's what we'll be exploring in today's dialogue. An employee is going to approach their manager and ask for a raise. Let's see how that conversation goes.
All right, let's listen.
Okay, here we go. Listen carefully.
Excuse me, sir. May I talk to you?
Sure, Bill. Come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, sir, as you know, I have been an employee of this prestigious firm for over 10 years.
Yes.
I won't beat around the bush, sir. I would like a raise. I currently have 3 companies after me, and so I decided to talk to you first.
A raise? Son, I would love to give you a raise, but this is just not the right time.
I understand your position, and I know that the current economic downturn has had a negative impact on sales, but you must also take into account my hard work, proactiveness, and loyalty to this company for over a decade.
Taking into account these factors and considering I don't want to start a brain drain, I'm willing to offer you a 10% raise and an extra 5 days of vacation time. How does that sound?
Great. It's a deal. Thank you, sir.
Before you go, just out of curiosity, what companies were after you?
The electric company, the gas company, and the water company.
Ha! Did you catch that ending, Sarah?
I did. That's hilarious. So he wasn't talking about job offers at all. He needed a raise to pay his bills.
Exactly. The electric company, the gas company, and the water company are all utilities. They're the companies that provide essential services, not job opportunities.
It's a clever twist on the conversation. But let's break down some of the vocabulary and phrases we just heard.
All right, let's dive into language takeaway, where we explore the key words and phrases from the dialogue.
First up, prestigious. The employee said he's been working at this prestigious firm for over 10 years. David, what does prestigious mean?
Prestigious is an adjective that means highly respected, well-known, or esteemed. When something is prestigious, it has a great reputation.
Right. For example, universities like Harvard or Oxford are considered prestigious universities.
Exactly. Or think about awards like the Nobel Prize. That's a very prestigious award. It means people respect it and recognize its importance.
So when the employee mentions the prestigious firm, he's emphasizing that the company is well respected, which makes his loyalty to it even more meaningful.
Good point. All right, next word, economic downturn.
Ah, yes. The boss mentions that there's been an economic downturn that has affected sales. This phrase describes a period when the economy is not doing well.
Right, a downturn means a decline or decrease. So an economic downturn is when businesses are making less money, people might be losing jobs, and overall economic activity slows down.
We've seen this happen during recessions or financial crises. It's definitely not a happy time for businesses or employees.
Exactly, and that leads us to our next phrase, negative impact.
The boss says the economic downturn has had a negative impact on sales. Impact means effect or influence, so a negative impact is a bad effect.
Right. You could say the bad weather had a negative impact on our outdoor event. It means the weather made things worse.
And the opposite would be a positive impact. For example, your hard work has had a positive impact on the team's performance.
Great example. Now let's talk about brain drain.
Ooh, this is a really interesting phrase. The boss says he doesn't want to start a brain drain. What does that mean?
Brain drain refers to a situation where talented or educated people leave a company, organization, or even a country to go somewhere else.
So the brain part refers to intelligent or skilled people, and drain means they're leaving, like water draining out of a bathtub.
Exactly. For example, if a country has a lot of highly educated people who move abroad for better opportunities, that country is experiencing a brain drain.
And in this case, the boss doesn't want talented employees leaving the company, so he's willing to give the employee a raise to keep him.
Precisely. All right, those are some really useful words and phrases. Let's listen to the dialogue one more time, and then we'll look at some phrases that'll help you sound more fluent.
Here's the dialogue again. Listen for those key words we just discussed.
Excuse me, sir. May I talk to you?
Sure, Belle. Come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, sir, as you know, I have been an employee of this prestigious firm for over 10 years.
Yes.
I won't beat around the bush, sir. I would like a raise. I currently have 3 companies after me, and so I decided to talk to you first.
A raise? Son, I would love to give you a raise, but this is just not the right time.
I understand your position, and I know that the current economic downturn has had a negative impact on sales, but you must also take into account my hard work, proactiveness, and loyalty to this company for over a decade.
Taking into account these factors and considering I don't want to start a brain drain, I'm willing to offer you a 10% raise and an extra 5 days of vacation time. How does that sound?
Great. It's a deal. Thank you, sir.
Before you go, just out of curiosity, what companies were after you?
The electric company, the gas company, and the water company.
Great. Now let's move on to Fluency Builder, where we look at phrases that native speakers use all the time.
All right, Fluency Builder time. This is where we focus on natural English expressions that'll make you sound more like a native speaker.
First phrase, I won't beat around the bush. This is one of my favorites.
Mine too. When someone says they won't beat around the bush, it means they're going to be direct. They're not going to waste time with small talk or unnecessary details.
Exactly. The opposite would be if someone is beating around the bush, which means they're avoiding the main topic or not getting to the point.
Right. It can be really frustrating when someone beats around the bush. You just want them to say what they mean.
For example, imagine your friend says, "So, I was thinking, maybe if you're not too busy, if you have time," and you might say, "Stop beating around the bush, just ask me."
Perfect example. It's all about being clear and direct in your communication.
All right, next phrase. Take into consideration.
The employee uses this phrase when he says, "You must also take into consideration my hard work and loyalty."
To take something into consideration means to think about it when making a decision. It's similar to the word consider.
Right. So if you're buying a car, you might take into consideration the price, the fuel efficiency, and the safety features.
Exactly. You could also say, please take my schedule into consideration when planning the meeting. That means think about my availability when you decide when to have the meeting.
It's a very polite way to ask someone to think about something important.
For sure. And our last phrase for today is just out of curiosity.
The boss uses this at the end when he asks, just out of curiosity, what companies were after you?
This phrase is a polite way to ask a question when you don't absolutely need to know the answer, but you're interested.
Right. It shows that you're curious about something, but it's not urgent or critical information.
For example, I might ask, "Sarah, just out of curiosity, how long have you been learning English?"
And that shows you're interested, but it's not like you need that information for an important reason. It's just casual curiosity.
Exactly. It's a nice, friendly way to ask questions without seeming too pushy or intrusive.
These phrases are so useful in everyday conversation. Let's listen to the dialogue one final time, and then we'll talk about some practical tips for asking for a raise.
Here's the dialogue one last time. Listen for all the vocabulary and phrases we've discussed today.
Excuse me, sir. May I talk to you?
Sure, Belle. Come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, sir, as you know, I have been an employee of this prestigious firm for over 10 years.
Yes?
I won't beat around the bush, sir. I would like a raise. I currently have 3 companies after me, and so I decided to talk to you first.
A raise? Son, I would love to give you a raise, but this is just not the right time.
I understand your position, and I know that the current economic downturn has had a negative impact on sales. But you must also take into consideration my hard work, proactiveness, and loyalty to this company for over a decade.
Taking into account these factors and considering I don't want to start a brain drain, I'm willing to offer you a 10% raise and an extra 5 days of vacation time. How does that sound?
Great. It's a deal. Thank you, sir.
Before you go, just out of curiosity, what companies were after you?
Oh, the electric company, the gas company, and the water company.
All right, so asking for a raise can be really nerve-wracking, can't it, David?
Absolutely. It's one of those conversations that makes most people anxious, but it's important to advocate for yourself and make sure you're being fairly compensated for your work.
Exactly. And I think the employee in our dialogue did a few things really well.
Like what?
Well, first, he was direct. He said, I won't beat around the bush, and then he clearly stated what he wanted.
That's a great point. Being clear and confident is really important. You don't want to be apologetic or unclear about what you're asking for.
Right. He also highlighted his value to the company. He mentioned his hard work, proactiveness, and loyalty over 10 years.
Yes, that's crucial. When you ask for a raise, you need to show why you deserve it. What have you accomplished? How have you contributed to the company's success?
And he also acknowledged the company's challenges. He said, I understand your position, and I know the economic downturn has had a negative impact.
That shows empathy and understanding. It's not just about what you want, it's about finding a solution that works for both you and your employer.
Exactly. And in the end, he got a 10% raise plus extra vacation days. That's a win.
Definitely. So let's give our listeners some practical tips. First, timing is everything.
Oh, yes. You don't want to ask for a raise right after the company announced budget cuts or layoffs. The best time is usually during your annual performance review or after you've completed a major project successfully.
Exactly. Or wait until the company announces good financial results. That shows the company's doing well and can afford to give raises.
Second tip, do your research. Look at salary surveys for your industry and position. Websites like Glassdoor or LinkedIn Salary can give you good information.
Right. You need to know what the market rate is for your role. If you're asking for way more than average, your boss probably won't take you seriously.
Third tip, document your achievements. Make a list of all your accomplishments. Include specific examples with numbers if possible.
For example, I increased sales by 25%, or I trained 5 new employees, or I completed the project 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
Numbers are really powerful. They make your case much stronger.
Fourth tip, schedule a proper meeting. Don't just drop by your boss's office randomly. Send an email saying you'd like to discuss your compensation.
That gives your boss time to prepare and shows that you're being professional.
Fifth, be specific about what you want. Don't just say, I'd like more money. Say exactly what percentage or amount you're requesting.
And 6, be prepared for negotiation. Your boss might not say yes right away. They might offer something different, like more vacation time or professional development opportunities.
Great point. A raise isn't just about money. Sometimes companies can't increase salaries, but they can offer other benefits.
And finally, if your boss says no, don't get defensive. Stay calm and ask for feedback. What would I need to accomplish to earn a raise in the future?
Exactly. That turns the conversation into a development discussion and keeps the door open.
Now, let's talk about what not to do. Don't compare yourself to colleagues negatively. Don't say, I work harder than John.
Right. That sounds unprofessional. Focus on your own achievements.
Also, don't make it about your personal financial problems. Saying I need a raise because I have bills isn't effective.
Exactly. Your employer pays you based on the value you bring, not based on your expenses.
And don't use ultimatums unless you're really prepared to leave. Saying, give me a raise or I'll quit can backfire badly.
Absolutely. That damages your relationship even if you do get the raise.
So, to summarize, choose the right time, do your research, document achievements, schedule a meeting, be confident, be specific, and be prepared to negotiate.
Those strategies will help you have a successful conversation, whether you're a native speaker or learning English for work.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of the English Playbook.
We covered so much today. We looked at essential vocabulary like prestigious, economic downturn, brain drain, and negative impact.
We explored useful phrases like beat around the bush, take into consideration, and just out of curiosity.
And we discussed practical strategies for asking for a raise, including what to do and what to avoid.
If you found this episode helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the English Playbook for more episodes on business English and workplace communication.
And hit that notification bell so you'll know when our next episode drops.
We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever asked for a raise? What happened? What strategies worked for you? Or if you have questions about business English, leave us a comment and we might feature your question in a future episode.
You can find transcripts and additional learning materials on our website.
Remember, asking for a raise is a normal part of career development. Most managers expect their employees to advocate for themselves. So don't be afraid to have this conversation when the time is right. Just prepare well, be professional, and be confident.
Thanks so much for tuning in today, everyone. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep playing with English.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.